Hello children, today we will learn the similarity between acids and bases. Similarity between acids and bases. First we will learn this aspect. Acidic and basic solution in water conduct electricity. If you take acid, small amount and dissolve in water, and when you pass the electric current, they conduct electricity. What you need is, you have to take a beaker, take the water and add small amount of sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid. Take a rubber cork and insert 2 iron nails and connect it to the wire, electric wire, and a battery. To know the presence of current, you need bulb and switch. So you have to take in a container acidic water, or you add acid to the water, and there are 2 nails for the conduction of a current. This is battery, 6-volt battery you can use. This is the bulb to indicate the flow of current in the circuit, and this is the switch. Now when you take acid in the water, we see that the bulb will glow, indicating the acid will help in the conduction of electricity when it is dissolved in water. Now, how it takes place? HCl in water, it breaks into hydrogen ion plus chloride ion. Or if we take acid, sulfuric acid, it breaks into hydrogen ion plus sulfate and ion. Or if you take nitric acid, one more acid, it will break in water, or water dissociate this into H plus ion and nitrate ion. And this hydrogen ion, they conduct electricity in the aqueous solution. Instead now, if you take sugar solution, here instead of acid, what you will see? There is no glow of bulb in the circuit, indicating sugar solution will not conduct electricity. So there is no glow of bulb, current will not flow. Now take water and dissolve small amount of the base, say sodium hydroxide. You dissolve small amount of the base sodium hydroxide, then again you can see the glow in the bulb. When you on the key here, switch, again bulb will glow, indicating the basic solution in water conduct electricity. So both acids and bases conduct electricity in water. What happens to the base? Sodium hydroxide in water, it breaks into sodium ion plus hydroxide ion. Or if you take magnesium hydroxide base, it breaks into magnesium ion plus hydroxide ion. Now these ions, hydroxide ions, help in the conduction of electricity in water. So we can say the acids and bases in water, they break into ions and they help in the conduction of electricity. Acids, as I taken earlier, the hydrochloric acid, which breaks into hydrogen ion plus chloride ion. Now this hydrogen ion will not exist alone in the water or in the solution. It combines with the water molecule and form H3O plus. It is called hydronium ion. Hydronium ion. So acids in water produce hydronium ion. Now if you take dry hydrogen chloride and dry litmus paper, and if you able to touch them, they won't show the change in color. For conducting or to produce the acidic character, you have to dissolve the acid in the water. Now while adding the acid to the water, care should be taken, because the acid and base, when you add to the water, both reactions are exothermic reaction. So when you add acid to water or when you add base to the water, this process is an exothermic reaction. Do you know what is exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction is that reaction in which heat energy is liberated when the reaction takes place. So, when you add water and acid, what you have to do? If you take small amount of water and add to the acid, no, it is very dangerous, because it is exothermic reaction. The small amount of water, when you add to the container of acid, concentrated acid, since it is an exothermic reaction, lot of energy is given, water changes into steam and it may splashes out and you may get wound. You will get the burning sensation on the skin, and it is possible it may break the container of the acid which you have taken. So care should be taken when you mix water and acid. What you need is, you take the water sufficient amount in a container, then add the concentrated acid drop by drop slowly and stir it occasionally, so that the heat liberated mixed with the water, water is a good absorber of heat energy, so there is no possibility of splashing out of the any liquid to your body. So that is the thing, always mix acid to the water, not the reverse. Same case in case of the base also. When you take concentrated base solution, you add to the water slowly. It is also an exothermic reaction. Now, when you do this, the process of adding the acid or base to the water, we called it as diluting the acid, or it is called diluting the base. Diluting the acid or base. What you will do? You will add the water, or acid plus water or base plus water. It is called diluting. And when you dilute it, the concentrated acid becomes dilution, and here the number of hydrogen ions or hydronium ions goes on decreasing as you increase the quantity of water. It is called dilution. The next thing is when an acid react with the base. You know now acid has H plus ion, and when you mix it with the base, it has got hydroxide ion. They will react to form water plus salt. This is the actual reaction taking place when acid is reacted with the base. Neutralization reaction, we call it as neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is that reaction when acid react with the base, acid plus base, producing salt and water, because you know both are opposite in nature. One will nullify the effect, and in the result we'll get salt and water. HCl acid and base will take sodium hydroxide. You will get OH plus H. You will get water here. Now which is the salt you will get? It is sodium chloride. The common salt in a day-to-day life will use, that is produced. And this is the neutralization reaction. Understood, children? Acid and base will get salt, sodium chloride and water, hydroxide ion and hydrogen ion. The next thing we will learn in the class is how to use acid and base to find some chemical properties. While learning metals and non-metals, see, elements are classified into metals and non-metals, right? And the chemical properties of metals, how they differ from non-metals and metals. So in that one, we will learn that metallic oxides are basic in nature, whereas non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So how we have to test it? How we can come to know that one? Very simple. Take first metallic oxide. If you take copper oxide and the hydrochloric acid, children, copper oxide, you have to take acid. Hydrochloric acid, you will get copper chloride plus water, salt and water, because it is an basic in nature. So you have to take acid. So you will get salt and water. So in this way you can say that the metallic oxide are basic in nature. Now same manner, if you take non-metallic oxide, carbon dioxide, I will take and make it react with the, which one now? Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So you have to take now base. Now you have to take base, sodium hydroxide. What you will get? You will get the salt, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus water. Don't take this reaction. Okay. So that is the use of acids and bases to test the metallic oxide or basic oxide. So what we studied, children, today? One main similarity between acid and bases, that is both conduct electricity when they are taken in the solution form in water, when they dissolve in water, because acid dissociated in water into hydrogen ion, and it will base will produce hydroxide ion, and while adding the acid or base, care should be taken, but it is an exothermic reaction. And this acid and base, when react with each other, it is called neutralization reaction. This reaction may help us to find the metallic oxide nature and non-metallic oxide nature This reaction will make use. Now open your textbook if you have, or otherwise I will read the question. You give me answer or think about it. Page number 25. Why do HCl, hydrochloric acid, H1O3, nitric acid show acidic characters in aqueous solution, while the solution of compounds like alcohol or it may be glucose do not show acidic character? What is the answer, children? Yes, you said correctly. HCl or H1O3, the hydrochloric acid and nitric acid in water, it dissociate into the ions, hydrogen ion and chloride ion, and HNO3. Hydrogen ion is produced, they help in the conduction of electricity, whereas your glucose or alcohol, they won't produce hydrogen ion, so they won't conduct electricity. They are not acidic in nature also. Why does an aqueous solution of acid conduct electricity? Because it produces H plus ions, hydrogen ion. Third question, why does dry HCl gas not change the color of dry litmus paper? What is the answer? Both are dry. Litmus paper is dry and hydrochloride, HCl, it is in the gaseous form, not in the liquid form, solution form, dissolved in water. What is the answer? Yes. Here, dry HCl, there is no presence of water, and dry litmus, there is no presence of water. Children, always remember, hydrogen ion or acidic character is possible, or having hydrogen ion is possible only in water. If there is no water, it won't break into hydrogen ion. It will be formed in the ions held together in a bond, it won't break and it won't show acidic character, it won't conduct electricity. And next one, fourth one, while diluting an acid, it is recommended that the acid should be added to the water and not water to the acid. Why? As we mentioned earlier, it is an which reaction? Exothermic reaction. Heat energy is given out. So, when you add water to the acid, it is very dangerous. The water, whatever water you will add, it all change into steam. It may flashes out due to lot of energy and it may fall on your skin because it is highly heat energy is given. So, you have to add acid slowly to the water, stir it and you will overcome that problem. Fifth one, how is concentration of hydronium ions affected when solution of an acid is diluted? When you dilute an acid, what you are doing actually, you are increasing the water in the acid. Okay. So, what it results? If you take unit volume of the water, the number of hydronium ion goes on decreasing as the number of water molecule or the quantity of water molecule increases, or you are go on diluting and diluting or adding water to the acid, the number of hydronium ion present or hydrogen ion present in a particular unit volume, it decreases. So, strength of the acid decreases. Okay. And lastly, how is the concentration of hydroxide ions affected when excess of base is dissolved in solution of sodium hydroxide? Now, you have a solution with the OH, a basic solution you have hydroxide ion. Now, you are adding NaOH, right? You are adding a solution of sodium hydroxide. You have in the solution hydroxide ion first. Now, you are adding sodium hydroxide. So, what you will get now, which ion you will get mainly now? You will get OH ion. This ions, already OH ion is present, you are adding sodium hydroxide which also produces OH ion. So, what you will get in the unit volume, now the number of OH ions increases. So, the basic character of the solution increases. So, that is the answer. And lastly, have heard about strong acid and weak acid? In this junction, I will say about strong acid and weak acids. The mineral acids, HCl, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid and HNO3 are strong acids, and formic acid or your acetic acid, vinegar, they are all weak acids. Now, what is the meaning of strong acids and weak acids? Today we have learned that the acids when dissolved in water produces hydrogen ion, right? Now, if you take an HNO3 or HCl, it dissociates completely, producing large number of H plus ions. Whereas the acetic acid or your formic acid, etc., they will not dissociate completely. So, they are weak acids. That is the answer. Okay. Today we will end the class, children. Few more things related to acid and base we will learn in the next class. Thank you.